All right, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. I want to say and give double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders, a great millstone for teaching his word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. Salutations to the elect, 144,000, Lord willing, we're some of those men. Hey, I'm my brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another quick lesson. It was just on this video that I found on Instagram, and it showed, well, it's going to illustrate, this is how you get the so-called white man. This is what he has is called leprosy. All right. And I believe he's a clean leper because he has all his skin is looks like that of his blood shows forth through his skin. Okay. And he has that blonde hair. That blonde hair comes with it. And you got some Edom, not all Edomites have blonde hair. You got Edomites that's dirty blondes, that's brown, what's it called, brunettes, which is brown hair, redheads, but they're still, their skin is don't have any melanin. It lacks melanin, and this is a curse. Now you see this man right here. He's an Elamite. Okay, let me play this. Yeah, this is the Elamite. This is a so-called East Indian, but he has leprosy. Okay, in this world they call it albinoism. All right, but in reality, the Lord took his pigmentation away from him. Okay, and now he looks like this, right? And this is how you get the so-called white man, and this is a curse, you know. And Esau don't understand that he's cursed for so long. He told us that our dark skin was a curse, the curse of Ham, which is totally not. That whole curse of Ham, he goes completely off with that. Because the majority of the people on the earth are people that are melanated, and even amongst our people, you have those that are become leprous or were born leprous. I myself have a small bit of leprosy, but anyway, I'm gonna show you that this is what happened to Moses' sister. Okay, when she was disobedient. Okay, this is the book of Numbers chapter 12. I'm gonna start at 1. And it says, and Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman who he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman, right? And they said, have Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, indeed spoken only by Moses? Have he not spoken also by us? And Yahweh heard it. And now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which are upon the face of the earth. Right? So it says in the NLT, it says, now Moses was very humble, more humble than any other person on earth. Right? And it says, and Yahweh spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam, come out ye three unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And Yahweh came down in a pillar of a cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam. And they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, Yahweh, will make myself known unto him in a vision and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, and apparently not, and even apparently, and not in dark speeches and in similitudes of Yahweh shall be he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of Yahweh by Shemiel Shai was kindled against them, and he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. In the NLT it says, as the cloud moved from above the tabernacle, there stood Miriam, her skin as white as snow from leprosy. Right? So we know that Miriam was a so-called, what you would call a so-called black woman. She had pigmentation prior to her disobedience and murmuring, and you notice the Lord judged her. He didn't judge Aaron with that, because she's a woman and she was completely out of line by saying that to Moses, because she just looked at him as like he was her little brother, and the Lord is dealing with all of them, and that wasn't the case. Okay, and so what the Lord made her skin just like this Elamite skin. He made and She wasn't born that way. She became that way. This guy was born that way, but he made her what? Skin leprous, right? Let me keep on reading. And it says in the NLT, and as the cloud moved from above the tabernacle, there stood Miriam, her skin as white as snow from leprosy. When Aaron saw what had happened to her, and white as snow from leprosy. In the NLT, it says, okay, I'll keep reading. It says, when Aaron saw what had happened to her. In the NLT, it says, and Aaron said unto Moses, alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not this sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, wherein we have sinned, right? Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he cometh out of his mother's womb. Because this is what happened to, what's his face? Esau. When Esau was born, he looked like he was half gone because he had no pigmentation. So that lifeless looking skin that he had was a shock to his father, his mother, and his brother came out looking like his father and his mother. But he came out with that pigmentation missing. All right. And that goes back even to the sign of Cain. You know, Cain killed Abel. All right. Cain killed Abel. All right. And Cain got that mark. And it wasn't a bubble on his forehead. It wasn't, you know, a X or a cross on his head. No, the Lord took his pigmentation away from him. Right? And at that time, during his time walking on the earth, nobody looked like this. Okay? So let's keep on reading. It says, let her not be as one dead, whom the flesh is half consumed when he cometh out of his mother's womb. And Moses cried unto Yahweh, saying, heal her now, O Most High, I beseech thee. And Yahweh said unto Moses, if her father had spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days, and after that let her be received again. And in NLT it says, but the Lord Yahweh Bashiach Shai said unto Moses, if her father had done nothing more than spit in her face, wouldn't she be defiled for 7 days? So keep her outside the camp for 7 days, and after that she may be accepted back. Why? Because her skin complexion came back. Okay, and Miriam was shut up from the camp 7 days, and the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again. And afterward, the people removed from Hazareth and pitched in the wilderness of Paran. Okay, now another case of a test of leprosy was in Moses. Bosom. Moses was told to put his hand in his bosom by the Heavenly Father. Right. This is Exodus 4 and 6. Right. It says, I'll start at 4. And Yahweh said unto Moses, put forth thine hand and take it by the tail. And put forth thine hand and take it by the tail. And he put forth his hand and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand. Right? This is that snake, right? It says, and that he may be believed that Yahweh, the Most High, the power of their fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob, have appeared unto thee. And Yahweh said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he had took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. So now we know that to look like a so-called white man is leprosy. This is what true leprosy is. It's not what, you know, people with these boils and bumps on them and shit and all crazy. That's not leprosy. This is the leprosy. All right? So, and that shows you that his skin had to be brown, you know, or what you call today so-called black. Then Yahweh said to Moses, this is in the NLT, now put your hand inside your cloak. So Moses put his hand inside his cloak, and when he took it out again, his hand was white as snow with a severe skin disease. Well, that's what leprosy is. It's severe. Back of verse 7, and he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. So his skin went back brown like the rest of his body. Okay, see, in the world that we live in today, we're told to look like a so-called white man is a blessing. To look like a so-called white man is a sign that you're superior. To look like a so-called white man, we're told that's the epitome of beauty. That's the apex of man. You know, that's what they claim that Hitler was all about, making a so-called Aryan race, where Aryanism comes from these Elamites. And then so his so-called version of Aryan race was blonde hair, blue-eyed, and pale skin, man. You know, leprous skin, which is you can see his blood show forth through his skin. All right, and it's the same thing that happened to Esau, the forefather of the so-called white man. All right, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 25 and 19. Right, and it says, "And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister of Laban, the Syrian. And Isaac entreated Yahweh Bashmiel Shai for his wife, because she was barren. And Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went and inquired of Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto her, Two nations are in thy womb, two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And these are signs. When you look at the so-called Negro, starting with the so-called Negro, you look at the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, these are the Israelites. They're stronger. We're stronger than the so-called white man, physically, spiritually, mentally. We have a different strength to us, all right? And it says the elder shall serve the younger. And that's ultimately what Esau is going to do in the kingdom of heaven when it's established down here. He's going to finally serve us, right? Because he was born to serve us, right? So let's keep on reading. And when her days were to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Now these were fraternal twins, all right? They weren't identical twins. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. And it says right here, the first one was very red at birth and covered with thick hair like a fur curtain. No, that's a lie. It says like a hairy garment. So he didn't come out hairy. And it says again, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. So when he came forth from out of his mother's womb, he looked like this. His skin was red because the blood showed fluorescent through his skin. All right? And it was similar to that of a hairy garment that they would use in a garment made of animal fur in an ancient world. But when it came to Jacob, and after that came his brother Jacob out, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of his heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them, right? So here it is. Esau came out looking like this, leprous, but Jacob didn't come out looking like that. He was brown. And there's many examples of that in this earth today, where a woman will give birth to twins, but one of them would be melanated and the other one would be an Edomite. And it's usually Jakes that give birth to babies like that. Israelites that give birth to babies like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to bring this out. This is an example of Esau's leprosy. With that, Shalom, on to the next.